Hi, I wanted to create this video to give everyone a SISE update. So we've been doing a lot of work behind this, behind the curtain, updating the SISE App Store, some of the framework and governance around that. This is all part of the NIP Challenge investment, the private sector investment, our GIS committee, our SISE work group, our fleet work group. There's been a lot of irons in the fire. But we have some very exciting things coming in 2020 that I wanted to at least talk to you about and give you the update. So first of all, what we've done is we are finally able now to move the beta version of the SISE App Store onto a platform. So from a big picture, SISE is really a legal framework that's comprised of work groups, okay, solutions that are developed out of those. The work groups create use cases, which create solutions, and that process is down to a science. 6 steps, it works every time. And so we build these use case committees. They go through the use case development process to produce the solutions, and then we want to kind of house those solutions and train and exercise those solutions with the right people. So what I'm talking about now is kind of on this far end is the App Store. So we started with a website, then we went to kind of an App Store interface, and now through recommendations from the SISE committee and the SISE work group, we're going to a new format. The new format will have a 2-factor authentication. So everybody logs in, will get a 7-digit text to their phone. This validates user entry, and we've now reached kind of the final version, operational version of the SISE. There's going to be 3 tiers of use cases, kind of 1, 2, 3. 1 just requires users to do their username, password, name and address, a small financial transaction. We validate identity for those level 1 use cases, and we have an agreement. Level 2 will have a higher agreement with penalties. We don't have any use cases like that right now. And level 3 will be another higher agreement, maybe with a PIV-I card. We don't have use cases like that right now, but what kind of use cases will they be? Well, the first one's using data that's pretty simple. It's public, sometimes it's private, but it really is looking at this, kind of lat-long data. Second might look at the status of those assets, and the third one might be the inventory of those assets. So where are all the fuel stations? Do they have fuel, if this is even possible to get, and then how much? Where are the grocery stores? Do they have, are they open or closed, or do they have, diapers or milk? So the private sector has all that data, but it's competitively sensitive, but that's where we're going with our 3-tiered security for data. Anyway, we're moving to a different environment. You'll get a chance to see it here, but it's going to resemble more of a bookstore because we have so many products and being added all the time that we wanted to create a different kind of interface. We'll still keep an app store type thing, but it will look a little different. Be able to search by tag, search by cluster, by disaster dashboards or data sets. For example, we have the lodging committee, so we've mapped pretty much every major hotel and minor hotel in the country. We have hundreds of these data sets, right? Low, bridge, and tunnels. We've got that. We've been building through our partners these data sets. So in the SISE App Store will be operational guides, data sets, dashboards, tools, PDFs, reports, many. And they'll all be tagged, so when you do a search, you'll be able to see this stuff. It's really very exciting about that. We're going to clean up the design polish a little bit, make it look really cool, and I think you'll like it. We want it to be impressive, so it looks professional as well as behaves that way. We're going to do a soft launch of this to our SISE working group sometime in January, and then a full-scale launch to our subscribers probably in February, March. The SISE has attracted over 1,000 registrants over the last 6 months of 19, and it's growing. And I think once we really turn on the marketing, you'll see that grow. Some people will join just to get access to the products. Others will want to join the work groups and be part of that. All people will be vetted, and we'll come up with a process on how to do that. After that, we'll come out with our business model, which will basically be, we've tested a bunch, but it'll be a subscription model. There'll be a version of this for states, of course, but the idea is that the model we're looking at now is that the SISE has all this capability, free updates. It's a flat fee for every year. It's free if you buy the training. Why are we doing it that way? Because we found out without the training, there's too many things. They can't figure it out. So if they don't get the training, they won't use it effectively, they won't stay involved, the turnover is going to flip over and over and over again. We tried the model where they subscribe and then we introduce the training. It just didn't work as well. So we're going to say, hey, SISE for access is free, okay, but you buy the training. And we're testing that probably in sometime in January. We think that's going to work. Next is coming a support ticket system. So we get tickets all the time from users. We get operational requests. Hey, have these guys declared? I think we're going to have almost 3 or 4 different types of support tickets. This won't be an ops center. It'll be a virtual email-based approach for starters. We don't have the money or people yet to do a full-blown operations center, but we will be able to support, when we activate, we'll be able to support a lot of the requests that come in, as well as the day-to-day SISE users. So that support center is going to provide vendor support, sales support, user support, tech support, and virtual operations center support. Next up, we're going to develop a community chat room, a secure chat room for SISE members to communicate all the time. So you can join groups by the latest disaster, if you want to be part of that. We hope to link in with the NBEOC and some of the other state folks there to create a synchronization of that community. So we'll have work group, use case community chat function. The big thing was to get the community working together was a big one. Next up is we're going to have automated cross-sector alerts. The SISE gets all kinds of alerts and emails from state, local government, from private sector. It's just too much for one person to deal with. So we've developed, working with our partners, we've developed a automated version to grab, read, and integrate and merge these things into one web page. So you can go to that page and watch that ticker when Pennsylvania declares the roads are restricted, North Carolina, and we can grow this over time, but it's automated. It eliminates email. It takes those emails, compresses them, and puts them into a readable format that can be a stream. So instead of you getting 20 emails, right, you can just go to one place and get those streams, click on it, and read the whole email. It's fantastic. And this is to answer the request that people want less emails. They don't want a big inbox. So this will be a feed of this. Fantastic. Very simple, actually. But we call that the cross-sector alerts. The next thing coming is our media channel. This is really exciting. We're going to take YouTube videos, recordings. We're going to create this kind of media channel where we can organize information, vendors and solutions, SISE workgroup training, but it'll all be part of a media center that will feed, kind of like YouTube, if you will, but it's going to be a private version. It'll feed our members access to live events, okay, or recorded events, but it'll all be part of that and integrated. I think it's going to be a fantastic capability. We're developing a service for the electric sector that we hope to fund, and that is really the fleet movement automation. In the past, we get an email from the RMAGs. The RMAGs say, we're moving trucks from Ohio to Virginia. Here's the path. Here's when they're going to leave. And it's all done via email. Me, John Shaner, helped me put a spreadsheet together. It takes a lot of time. But we're going to automate that whole thing. So RampUp, which is the electric sector's tool, issues an email alert automatically now. We're going to take that alert. We're going to put it into a process that will create a map, and it'll send an email automatically to all of the state folks involved that are on the receiving end, on the sending end, and all the states in between, the pass-through states. And it'll link them, hey, there's a movement, click here, they go here, and there's a map. And the red states that are calling resources will be colored red or some color. The green states sending will be green. The yellow states in between will say, hey, you're in the path of this fleet movement. Here's your next step. It'll all be automated. So when this happens at 8 a.m. in the morning, that email will go out at 8:05. So this is using automation to expedite the mutual aid process we've been developing since really 2013. So we're very happy about that. That's in the plan book for 2020. And then lastly, we are going to move the SISE into a secure cloud arrangement, probably with Amazon, for higher level security, increased trust, bandwidth, scalability, and we've been planning this for a couple of years. But the idea, as the SISE grows, we'll need more accessibility. We'll need to staff people to work with us, to work this. We hope to, if we can raise the funds, we hope to kick in a real operations center, people, bodies that are manning these things. And that allows us to address more issues across the country. Right now we activate just when the SISE working group activates, but there's issues going on in the Midwest and the West Coast, and you need people to do that. You need bodies to do that. So that's the game plan, is to put in the infrastructure now that can scale up to meet these issues. And lastly, there's going to be a big data effort. We're partnering with Idaho National Labs, we're partnering with FEMA, DHS, the private sector, and we hope to really continue development of our operational readiness level standard, vet data sets, put them all in one place that all states and FEMA and DHS can pull from, so we're all going off the same data for operational readiness level 1 data. Great vision, great vision. We mentioned this to NASA. They were like, Tom, that's exactly what we'd like to do, is what data do we have that can be ranked, that can be utilized? We need that utilization, and we need to tell people within NASA that, hey, this is being used, and this will influence future investments in R&D for NASA. This will help create new products. So, but they don't have that feedback loop now. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a snippet of what's coming with the SISE. You know, we'll have training and education and things like that. But we're very excited about the SISE updates. There's been a lot of time and investment invested in this, and I think over time we want to create the environment where people can log in and get access to all that. But that's only a small piece of the SISE. The best part of the SISE is the legal framework, the work groups, the committees and use cases that get started as a result, all to do one thing: increase the speed with which we can communicate, increase the trust that we work together under, and increase resilience at the end of the day. We want to respond and recover faster. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. Just wanted to let you know what's going on with the SISE and all the great work the use case committees and the work group committees have been producing. And you'll see it here in 2020.